Hello and welcome to the Forum of Education. We are in Peking University in Beijing, China. Here with us today is the Chinese Minister of Education and the Indian Minister for Human Resource Development. In this forum, we will consider the various aspects of the educational systems in China and India, and then we will determine any similarities and differences between these two systems. What ages do your students attend primary school?
In China, primary education begins when the student is 6 and they go until they're age 11.
In India, children attend primary school between the ages of 6 to 14. And is primary education free in your country?
Yes, in China, primary education is free because of the law on 9-year compulsory education. This law states that all Chinese citizens must attend school for at least 9 years.
The Indian government requires its citizens to have a primary education, but it does provide it at no cost. What ages do your students attend secondary school?
Secondary education in China starts when the child is 12 and they go until they reach age 18.
Secondary education in India is attended by students aged 14 to 17. What is the curriculum like in your secondary schools?
The curriculum in secondary schools in China consists of Chinese, mathematics, physics, music, fine arts, geology, foreign language, history, geography, political science, music, fine arts, and physical education.
In terms of the general curriculum for India's secondary schools, languages take up 40% of the total study time. Students are usually required to study English, Hindi, and Sanskrit, but they are also required to study other subjects like social studies, science, math, arts and handicrafts, and agriculture. In terms of your philosophical approach to education, how does your government view education?
The right to education by the government is a large part of China's education.
Likewise, India also recognizes that education is a fundamental human right. Now, what percent of your GDP do you spend on education?
The Chinese government's expenditures on education amount to 1.9% of its GDP.
India spends 3.2% of its GDP on education. And what is the literacy rate in your country?
The literacy rate in China is 92%.
In India, 61% of the total population over the age of 15 can read and write. How do you evaluate the quality of education in your country?
The quality of education in China is based on the teacher's ability to help their students learn as much as possible. China uses support and services for lifelong learning through the Teachers Education Network, the TV satellite network, and the internet to greatly improve the teaching quality of elementary and high school faculty.
For us, teachers are also the greatest factor that impacts the quality of education. In fact, the quality of education requires improving the quality of teachers, and this can be done by raising pre-service education requirements, improving teacher training, increasing the diversity of the teaching force, and promoting stronger participation by local government and community organizations. Lastly, is there gender inequality in your country?
No, in China, both men and women attend higher education equally.
In India, education of females is actually valued less than that of males. In Indian culture, the dominant attitude is that males will prevail over females when it comes to more employment opportunities and higher incomes. As we can see, both China and India strive to provide universal access to free education at the primary school level. Both countries also take on the responsibility of providing education as a citizen's right. Furthermore, the Chinese and Indian governments focus on improving the quality of teachers in order to improve the quality of education. In addition, it seems that, with regards to education, gender equality is more apparent in China than in India. In terms of government funding on education, China spends 1.9% of its GDP compared to India's 3.2%. However, although India spends slightly more on education, it has a significantly lower literacy rate. That is, only 61% of India's population is literate, whereas in China, 92% of the population is literate. As a result, China's higher literacy rate suggests that its government is more successful than that of India at achieving universal access to education. This concludes the Forum of Education. From Peking University, thank you for joining us today.